welcome to another episode of Ran Out of Talent. I'm your host, Joe Zer Jr., and with me is my co-host, Zach Donathan. How's it going tonight, Zach?
Pretty good. Just getting our feed shared around and looking forward to another podcast.
Yeah, man, I've been looking forward to another podcast. I was explaining to you, I've just been exhausted these past couple weeks, so I have a non-RC story that it kind of sucks, but it's working out. So I got a little pug puppy for Christmas named Lenny. Sweetest puppy in the world. 2 weeks ago, after jujitsu, I'm on one end of my couch. He's on the other end. We have a sectional, and he falls 18 inches off the couch, makes the loudest thud a 6-pound dog can, and breaks his leg. So we bring him to the emergency vet, and that's $1,000 every time you walk into that place, regardless. And they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna splint it, and it's a clean break, but if he might need surgery, and that'll cost 6 to 8 thousand." It's like, we're gonna go to our vet, and our vet quoted us 3,600 on the high end, and they finished it for 2,800. So, it's nice, but so he thinks he's fully healed. He feels no pain, and he's
hmm
trying to be a regular puppy, and he cannot rear up on his back legs. That was one of the big no-nos.
For like
And
6 months.
well, no, with the leg break, it's more like 6 weeks. I know your dog had
Oh,
the
is
knee.
it? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know your dog had that knee deal, and that's 6 months, but this wasn't in the joint. This is just one
Oh,
of
no
the
bone.
yeah. And they put a plate on it. They had to make a little special plate for him because he's so small.
It's
Um,
not this big.
not even.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's microscopic surgery, really. And yeah, I've just been exhausted taking care of him. But the wife let me go to the track last weekend, and she took the dog. And you went to the track last weekend.
hmm
You did the King of the Carpet, and we'll talk about all that in 1 second. First, I want to talk about another King of the Carpet race. It's an off-road race. It's going to be at Crash and Bash Hobbies. It's in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Look up Crash N, the letter N, Bash Hobbies on Facebook. They're going to have special guest announcer Jimmy Keenan. He does a great job. The food is going to be provided by Karina Meeker, and they're less than 5 minutes away from a lot of fast food. The sponsors for now are T-Works, A-Main Hobbies, and Savix. Bring a table. Pit spots are limited. Their signups are live on RC Sign Up right now. So if you plan on going, get signed up so they can plan awards and whatnot. And so how it works is 3 of your classes count. Your mod 2-wheel drive, your expert classes, and your 13.5 stadium truck all are worth 5 points if you win it. Your Indy classes and short course are worth 3 points if you win it. There is a 40 plus exhibition class. Best 3 finishes cannot run both independent and expert. That's a main thing right there. And there will only be one overall King of the Carpet. All classes get top 3 awards, including novice, sportsman / and 40 plus 2-wheel mod. So check it out. Crash and Bash Hobbies, King of the Carpet Race 2026. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can find a date here. I did not give you a date. The date is going to be March 27th and March 28th. So, yeah, check that out. I wish I could go to it myself. I was planning on going to it until we spent $4,000 on a puppy, getting him fixed up.
That's how it works.
So my budget is limited, which I'm bummed about because I finally got things working in the right direction. Swifty checking in. Trevor Daly checking in. The Island City Crew, Z Main Gang, Jason Kessinger. So let's start with your race. You did a King of the Carpet event.
I did, yeah. It was King of the Road.
King of the Road
Uh,
at the
yeah.
lower
So it's
level.
right. It's my favorite race of the year.
Yep.
And I failed by about 1.5 seconds.
I wouldn't call that failing. I would say that's close racing.
I did not. I was trying to be the first repeat king, and I did not get a chance to defend my throne. So Brian Bussey got the better of me. Excellent run by him.
Bussey's been on rails, man.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So he ended up taking it into the IROC race from Mod Touring Car, and he was won the IROC race and ended up King of the Road for the next year. So
yeah, you got Del Judas this time.
Yeah, we got Del Judas. We had 97 entries, which is pretty good.
That's really good. That's very good. Now, what car did you use? Because for the IROC class,
we used a 3D printed car.
Oh, was it a sedan or what? Which one?
Yeah, kind of. From Team QIK.
Okay.
So they do a lot of 12 scale stuff, and they made they wanted to get into kind of touring, but it was a rear wheel drive, kind of like an F1 car with a touring car body.
Okay.
It's a little different, but think of something like that. So it drove, I was told, pretty good. They weren't super fast. They were doing like 13-second lap times. So that was a good, in mod touring, we were doing like 9, low 9s. So a little bit slower. Stock touring was doing like 10, we'll say 10.5.
So let's call it TTO2 times or Euro truck times.
Yeah, but it was a nice manageable speed. It was really about precision and driving, and I think that's exactly what they wanted.
Yes.
So I really like the format this year. I think there was a couple execution flaws that we're gonna get hammered out for next year.
Okay.
And just some small things. It was like we didn't have the transponders in the car. Because there was 12 cars. So we had I think maybe a better way of doing that was have 8 cars ready and then 12 bodies type thing.
Okay.
So you could pick your color and all that, but and then have the transponders dragged into the system, had the practice packs in there, just a little things to speed it up just a little bit. And then we're going to change up seating for next year. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but this year we did. So in previous years we didn't have this many racers, so it didn't take quite as long.
Sure.
But this year we spent 3.5 hours on seating, which wasn't expected. So we did 1 minute on the track, which ends up being about 3 minutes per person.
Okay.
Per entry, excuse me. So it was about 3.5 hours to get through that, which is a little long. But just small stuff. Really, the overall format I felt like was really good. I had a great time. Each round is a heads up racing. And I really enjoyed seeing my friends and hanging out with everybody. Competing against Brian and of course the other guys. Brian was kind of the main protagonist in this. And so it was. He ended up top seed because I failed in seeding. I ended up going 3 in seeding. I just the track changed dramatically from practice to when I got onto the track because it was like 3.5 hours.
Yep.
Or 3 or whatever it was. And so my car went from being like dialed in practice to not dialed. And also I got nervous. So it's, a bunch of things.
Dude, your head's so important in it. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah. So, Brian, he top seeded and he won Q1. I ended up winning Q2 because he made a mistake. He was right there. He would have tried to, if there was another minute. If it was 6 minutes, it would have been a problem.
Okay.
But he had the fastest car there the whole weekend. He drove really well.
You got the hero lap in the main.
He did, yeah.
You did.
No. He ran a 9.2.
Oh, what was I looking at? I was looking at final results, and it looked like you did. But yeah, never mind.
I got a 9.4, maybe. My car still wasn't great in the main, but it was a little better. I made some small changes throughout to try and get it back to how it felt in practice, but like the track was really different. So what happened is it rained like gangbusters.
Yep.
It was super humid in the morning.
Okay, I got it.
Like 75% humidity.
So I suppose there's no dehumidifier system or none of that. Most tracks
not that big. That's a commercial type unit,
okay.
And so. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff, and there's a humidifier to help because the humidity helps with the grip. But like, it went from like 75% to like 30% by time, we got. But it was like 50 when I got on the track for practice or for seating, and then it just kept going down. And so I was trying to play catch up and making some changes to put some more grip into the car, but it just ultimately. Brian was still quicker and more confident, and he normally is a little bit quicker than me. Where I end up shining is being able to do some consistent laps, but just not this time. I had to push, had to try, and hey, that's all right. We'll be here for next time. I did get to try that steel chassis. Couldn't tell you what it did. Car drove very similar. I did have to. I showed up without enough weight on the car.
Okay.
And I had a bunch of ready to go weights. So just weights that I labeled with Sharpie and 2A taped on, or I had one side 2A taped and the other side ready to be peeled off to be able to change the weight bias. Because I knew what I had before, but I couldn't achieve that with the steel chassis because it was 80 grams heavier. So, so I ended up just sticking on some weights and trying it out and figuring out what I liked. And then I end up going way in the car. And every time I go and mess with the car, it's always 1350.
Yep.
The minimum's 1320, but I like the car at 1350. So
yeah,
that's what felt good, and so I just ran it.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like Scott Windsor won the King of the Road race.
That's the transponder issue.
Oh.
So we had several transponder problems in the main, and we had to do it manually. Brian won.
Gotcha.
Scott was maybe a second behind Brian.
Okay.
It was kind of, we had some, just, again, one of the execution things is making sure the transponders are, one, installed in the car, but two, in the system, and three, making sure that they are
to the correct
strong. Yeah, well, but they're strong enough to count. And so we had a couple transponders in cars that had a weak signal. And so, it is what it is.
It's in on-road, especially. It's so tough for a race director to pick up a weak transponder and then decide what to do. You add a lap here or there, but eventually, with and it's hard to do with several weak transponders, but I have my pinky on the left control button and I'm hitting car numbers because it'll either break out or it'll count. That's something that you got to be ready.
Yeah. So Brian says he has 50 grams on his steel car, and
Yep.
he thinks it's time for minimal weight reduction. I would disagree.
Um, we've
And
been talking about different types of weight, and I do think it is time for a minimum weight reduction in at least 12 scale. Touring car, I mean, if you're adding 50 grams is significant.
dude, with aluminum chassis, you're
Yeah.
adding,
Probably 150. Not
yeah,
quite.
no, more than that, like 150, because the chassis is like 80 grams heavier than aluminum. But
Sure.
why I disagree with that is because it makes the cars faster. It also
Okay.
changes the setup window, which I feel like that's kind of, we can make the cars work at whatever weight, but the making them faster is my main thing.
Well, it would change the engineering of the car as well. A
Slightly,
good
yeah.
a good example is when we first switched to lipo batteries in 2004 or 5. We put a lipo in a car we were running a NIM in, and it ran like crap. It was bouncy. It was junk because that battery was way too light for the setup we had and the engineering of the car. They had to change everything about the car, and you had to change your suspension for it to work. Now, if you're cutting out a significant amount of weight, eh, you still, I don't know if the car needs to change, but your setup definitely needs to change. 100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, so Anthony, I had close to 100 grams in my car. It was just shy. So I guess my car without weight was 1250.
Yeah. I
With
mean,
the steel chassis.
I could see because I mean they cut um and it doesn't need to be big adjustments like for two-wheel drive buggy roar went from 1499 to 1474, and that just made life easier for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be huge. I mean, uh, I, I think 12 scale is a bigger issue because I mean
For the 5 people that are racing it, it's fine.
that's true. That's true. There's, 12 scale is on a downslope, and we'll talk about more 12 scale later. Um,
So,
yeah, Brian,
I
Spec
think
One or Spec Miata. Both are fun, Brian.
the problem is that us three and Swifty and probably the other people that are listening to this have a good amount of driving skill, right? So we could benefit from less weight. The majority of people in RC are not us. They're, not as talented as us. They don't have as much time to spend at the track. They don't have as much knowledge. So that's kind of where I'm at. And yes, but F1 they have to add weight as well. So I think a little weight is okay. It's not like I had to add a pile of weight, especially with the steel chassis, and even with the aluminum chassis, it wasn't that outrageous. I mean, with the tungsten weights now, it wasn't. I had 4 weights on my chassis, and then
Okay.
the aluminum, or excuse me, nickel uh, motor mount weights
Mhm.
as well. Um, and so what I did is I just shrink wrapped four of these tungsten plates, like the Pinewood Derby plates, together
Yep.
and 2-way taped them to my chassis. So that's what I did. I ran the so I have the X425. I don't have the 26, so I ended up getting the race opt steel chassis. I thought it was the Wii chassis, and I didn't read it close enough. It seemed to handle fine. I didn't have any problems with it. The fit and finish was fine. I don't like the screws. that you
Is
have
that
to use.
like super angle?
Well, no, the X-ray ones are that, but you have a regular deep socket with all the other chassis, the Race Opt and the Wii. I don't know about the other ones, but in the X-ray one is has 110 degree screws. These are 90 degree screws
Okay.
that are really tiny, but the hex depth is really shallow. So you have to make sure
Oh,
you like push in and tighten the screw.
have a brand new 2 millimeter when you're building it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my only complaint about it, but you know, what are you gonna do? So what'd you do this weekend, Joe?
You're wearing one of the old school shirts I see.
Well, yeah, I
That's
like this
awesome.
shirt. I was gonna wear a DRC shirt, and I happened to have this on, and I was,
I'm still in my work clothes, man. This is my, you know, I'm a nice salesman guy shirt. And yeah. Swifty saying he has 2 different steel cars and EA aluminum on the third car. You can definitely tell that they drive different. Ted Johnson saying, "Would you say we ran out of talent?" We all, us average guys do fall short of talent for the modified classes. I'll say that much. Um,
dang old big bucks,
yeah,
Swifty.
yeah, no kidding. 2 steel chassis cars.
No, he's got 3 cars that are ready to run.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. So I was at Dollar Hobbies last weekend at the Icebreaker. It's a weekend event. Started out with 121 entries, but after taking out the people who didn't show up, is 112. It's an okay weekend race.
That's a good weekend race, yeah.
God, I had a mixed bag. It was frustrating. For 2 of my classes, my head was not in it. Or actually, I should say for one, 2-wheel drive buggy, my new B7.1 drove phenomenally. And every once in a while, I'd get a decent lap. I'm like, the car can do it. I can do it. I just wasn't doing it. I was driving like a pussy. That's the only way.
You ran out of talent.
No, I never had it to start.
Oh, okay.
My head was gone. I was tired, all that other crap. My 4-wheel drive car was an evil SOB with the help of Kyle Holmberg and Casey Belkey and Tyler Aubert. I was able to get it drivable. And if I wasn't sitting by those 3 guys, I probably would have parked the SOB. Um, I don't know what happened. Like Friday practice, it was good. Then Saturday came along and the car was just not good at all. I did wholesale changes on the car and it was good. But again, my head wasn't in it. But my bright spot of the weekend was 13.5 Stadium Truck.
I was gonna guess that, but
Dude, my truck is so good and so easy to drive.
is that the T7?
No, it's not in the
Or you're on
budget
the
yet.
Okay, so you're on the 6.4.
Yeah, I'm on the Mayfield truck still.
Okay.
I should have popped it up. I have a picture of an A-arm because the A-arms wear out where the hinge pin is just because of drag and all that other crap.
Mm-hmm.
I wore out the entire back half of the A-arm. Like
Wow.
I took the bumper off and the thing just fell apart because I'm like, I should replace this before A1. It's bad. And it was a joke around the pits. I didn't realize how close it was to letting go. I took out the 2 bumper screws and just said, psh.
Wow. You
Yeah,
got lucky.
I got every penny out of that A-arm. But going into the third A main, Kyle Holmberg won it. Kyle Holmberg's the fastest truck driver in the country. You're one of the fastest, at least. It's between him and why can't I think of his shoot. I don't think of his name, but anyways,
Ryder Hamnick.
no.
Yeah, dude, Ryder's quick in truck.
Yeah, but no. But it is a three-way tie for second going into that third A main between me, who was leading the tiebreaker, Tyler Aubert, and Grayson Speaker. I led the first like minute and a half, and there I ran out of talent. I started driving defensively and not quick, and Tyler caught up to my bumper. He got by me, and then I stayed on his bumper for a while, and then I made a mistake, and he was gone. I feel like a jerk because in A main number 2, I got a really clean start, and there was this back flyover. I got super aggressive over it with Tyler, and we passed in the air, and there's a sweeper right after, and just sent him into the wall. Of course I waited. Of course I waited. But I mean, I kind of wrecked both. I made it back up to third in that one. But I hate it. I wrecked both of our races in that one. But yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, Torot won two-wheel drive buggy with Casey Belkey in the 2 and Kyle Holmberg in the 3. I missed the A main. Mason Burke won intermediate 17.5. This kind of I don't like that they split the 21.5 class. I get the 17 expert and intermediate. To me, 21.5 is intermediate.
I'd agree.
Or independent. Call it what you want. There should
but it's the more beginner class.
Yes. Tyler Steele won the intermediate. Him and Mason Burke battled like freaking Rob, no, I'm not looking for Brandon Marsh. It's Levin. Levin is also the
Jody Levin?
Yes, he is freaking crazy.
Jovi.
Jovi, yes.
Well, he's not running stock anymore, so.
No, but if he runs truck, he is. But Tyler Steele and Mason Burke had a crazy ass battle in all 3 mains and 21.5 intermediate. 13.5 Casey Belkey crushed it. Kyle Holmberg in the 2, Malooly in the 3. 17.5 Wheeler, Pete Bear Heels won that one. Sebastian Thompson won Short Course Spec, Holmberg 13.5, and Seth Greenland won Vintage Buggy. So, I mean, we had a lot of classes, and it was awesome. I really did. I enjoyed the atmosphere. I had a lot of fun sitting with my team associated teammates, but we also, I also had one of my best friends from childhood sitting right behind me, Tony Warner, with his kids. Unfortunately, my kid decided not to race, but that happens. He didn't want to do a weekend race. But dude, it is a great time. I had a lot of fun.
Good.
Even though my head wasn't in it, I was just happy to be there racing RC cars.
So let's get into some RC news because we're 30 minutes into this.
Before we do that, Aurora had a national event. It was great.
Oh, yeah.
They had 189 entries at RCCA. Yeah, man. I can't find the final results, but
I got them.
Let's look at modified touring car AAA main. Chris Adams wins that. Kevin Hairbear in the 2 and Sam Isaacs 3. I mean, that's your average. That's been your average main for forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird to see Sam down on it and Chris up there, but it's Chris's own track, but it's also Chris owns the track. So, like, he's responsible for. But, I mean, Chris laid it down this weekend. He just killed it in super stock and in mod, which is, I heard there's a little bit of drama in super stock, but.
Was there rough driving or was there motor
apparently some more motor BS going on?
Oh man.
So, but that's not that. I heard that as a rumor.
It's hearsay rumor.
Yeah,
and we'll say that there's a lot of rumors floating around the internet.
But
we're not talking about those this one. So news. Sorry.
Well, hold on. We just,
keep going.
if we're gonna
Keep
do the
going.
results, let's so
Keep going.
you have so 12 scale mod, you had 9, which is kind of meh, but you had Kemp Anderson with another national title. Kemp
Yes.
is probably the premier 12 scale mod driver for the US at the moment, with Sam and Kevin in a close second and third.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to stock touring next. You had Aiden Farrell on a local guy to RCCA, super fast. And you had Xavier, and then Mike Skeen from Apex. He got third. Andy Brooks, Orange Soda Fast, in fourth, and then you have Brad Johnson from the Thunderdome in fifth. Then you have Osmatics' own Michael Hanulek in sixth. So yeah, I mean, there's of course there's a full field, but that's the A main, and then super stock. Again, Chris Adams, Aiden, again, and then EA. Anytime EA is not like fighting for the win, the competition is fierce.
Dude, I mean, it's Aurora National.
EA is like 600 years old.
I know.
And killing it. I don't understand. He's got talent for days.
Yes.
So it was a really good showing for X-Ray overall this weekend in touring car. We'll check out stock 12 scale. So you had Jeff Dager, Cody Burke, and then Max Trivier. John Dixon all the way down in fourth place, which is a little
really.
Yeah, John Dixon.
He's so fast.
But he went not this weekend. He's been doing a lot of mini Z racing though.
I was gonna say, so at the mini Z Worlds, he TQ'd around here. There, I should say PNWC. They hate the mini Z Worlds.
At
the PNWC, he TQ'd around her too, and he was battling for wins in some of those mains, but the consistency wasn't quite there. And you touch, and at any high level form of racing, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't make that little bit of mistake. Hey, Mike Wertel checking in. How's it going, Mike?
And then super stock 12 scale is the last one. Jeff Dager killed it again. John Dixon in the 2 and EA in the 3.
Yeah, that's awesome. I met him for the first time actually in October at the PNWC. Awesome dude. Or November.
He's come a long way since I first met him. He was man, he was a young man for a while there.
Yep. I could see that. So
as we all were. Go ahead.
The Team Associated Vintage Championships for 2026 has been sold out. There's a waiting list going on. Get on the waiting list. It's just, I mean, it's important to get on the waiting list if you want to go. But they did this week announce Spec Tires, which I personally... Okay.
They did that after the event was sold out?
After the registration.
I just wanted to make sure that I understood the timetable right. So,
I do agree it's the wrong order.
I think the Spec Tire is a good move.
It is.
Like most
things. The guys traveling across the world don't need to bring a suitcase of tires.
Also, it's a surface nobody races on anymore. So it's kind of like really, really hard. It's not like you're going to a clay track where you got, one of these 4 tires is going to work.
I was going to have 3 sets of fronts, and I was going to have 6 sets of rears. Okay.
Now you need 1 front and 2 rears.
I need... Actually, if I stay with the 1 foam type, I can do the whole event on 1 set.
Okay. I was thinking maybe, depending on the track and how abrasive it is, the rears get a little worn down.
I'm bringing two full sets just to be safe. And I think I'm going to stay. I was going to bring a set of, because for truck, it's double D rear, Carver front. I was going to bring a set of rears with closed inserts, punched in V-cut, and a set of open inserts. But I think the open inserts are really going to be the ticket.
Yeah, especially on that type of surface.
So I'm just going to bring 2 full sets to be safe. I'm probably only going to need one. I love the spec tire. And again, Team Associated's not normally a race promoter. There's still next time announce the spec tires before entries open and things will be good. Things still are good.
Yeah, I do think that's the right move, especially, so for big races, I'm kind of and I heard, some of the tire manufacturers like Hot Race explain why they don't like spec tire. And I can understand that point, but from the regular racer's perspective, like I think that it's a great idea. So you have, at best you have like 3 different variations on a tire. So you have 2 different foams, and then maybe, how you assemble them is a little different. So that's where your third gets in there, or how, you have a, different foam, 3 different foam styles, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. So you need 3 sets of tires instead of 30. Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
So do
the
I.
thing, and with this being, a low abrasive surface, there's no reason to count your sets of tires. But one thing I don't like when a race says there's a spec tire, but then you give that person unlimited sets of tires, or like one, so that they, there's six races they're gonna run, and you give them 6 sets. Like, come on, man.
That will not be necessary. I've talked to all of the faster guys that race there, and they said tire wear is fine. Putting a new set of tires on every run will not help you. The only time a different tire would help you is if you ran on a wet track. But that being said, dude, it's been 75% positive, 25% negative, and a majority of the negative are people that were never going to go to the race anyway.
That's normally how it goes.
It is
a bunch of internet keyboard warriors.
Yes. But like I said, I'm excited for it. Some guys are like, because the flyer on Team Associated's webpage still says open tire. That's one thing that really needs to change, like tomorrow. Because there were guys who signed up and they've already been buying tires that weren't the spec tire. To be fair, though, the only tire, like they spec'd all J-Con tires, the only tire, I want to say Proline makes a couple of tires still. They still make the whole shot, maybe one other. And I want to say AKA makes 1 tire. Other than that, I don't think anybody else makes a pin off-road tire.
I bet like Pro Circuit or
no
Jeep.
No, you would
one
be
of those. I bet like some European does.
I don't think they do. That's the thing. I don't think they do, because there's a lot of like De Boots and Schumacher and all those. They make a turf tire, but it wouldn't work on that surface. It's Astro.
Right. Yeah, well, it's a lot harder.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and for sure it sucks for the people who bought the tires thinking it was going to be open, but
if there's not that many, then I guess
But like you said, the variations. For J Concepts, you have a Double D, you have a Sprinter, you have a Goosebump, you have a Flip Out, and you have a Drop Step. You're not going to use a Reflex for the buggy, yes, but that's not it for the surface. Anybody who was there would know that the Reflex wouldn't be it for that surface. It was Yeah. Jeremy Dre saying the only thing with that is how many old step pins and bow ties would come out of the RC vintage stashes. Yeah, that's no joke right there. But there's a rule though, Zach. If you don't want to run 2.2-inch wheels, you don't have to go by the spec tire. With truck, it's spec tire, regardless. But if you won't run a buggy and you want to run a tire that's 2 1/8, that's what comes on the team car. You can run whatever tire you want. This tire rule only works for 2.2 wheels.
I feel like he should just make that mandatory then, because it feels like there's some room for shenanigans there.
Oh, there's a lot of room for shenanigans, and we're gonna see them. We're gonna see the guys with the 2 1/8 wheels with goosebumps.
Because that's not that much smaller than 2.2.
Nope. And you could absolutely make it work.
Yeah.
You're talking 2.125 compared to 2.2. It's gonna be a little wonky, but it'll still be good. You would be shocked at how many tires I've mounted up wonky that still work all right.
Most of my tires,
yeah,
that I have to mount are wonky.
I know. Little side story. I was talking to Tyler Aubert about like slick tires and what I'm like, dude, can I just like get pre-mounts? He's like, no, you have to punch the foams. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna mount up these sets of tires for the April race at the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and on each set I'm gonna screw up one of them. That's just the way it goes.
I know, but that's why touring cars are so beautiful.
Yes,
you just go in the hobby shop and buy a set of tires.
Yep,
they're $40.
Yep, but
lasts you the whole race.
Yeah. Well, two-wheel drive here now. Hold on, if I'm reading this right, rear, you have double D's for the fronts. You can run either groovies or rips. Four-wheel, it's double D's in all four corners. Two-wheel truck, it's double D rear and blue carvers in the front. Richard's hoping the layout will be the 87 Worlds. That's what common sense. So, Dirk had the theory on this podcast that they were going to go in order of the worlds.
I think that makes sense.
It makes all the sense in the world. I'm hoping for 91 Detroit.
That's going to be
a few years down the road.
Yeah, or two more.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be 20.
Maybe if somebody from Team Associated is listening, that's what the people want.
I already asked him. He's yeah, I already asked him. But yeah, it's gonna be great. Let's see here. We only have a few more things to get through here. I have this video that RC Racing TV did. I really like it because he's more on the, I'm only on the microphone side, okay? I'm not on the logistics or camera work or any of that. But Zach, if you've heard the stupid junk that gets offered to media companies to cover a race,
like give some examples without naming names.
Just travel, or I'll pay you later, and they don't pay. But he explains it all in this video, so we're gonna play this video. I don't think we'll get the boot if we play a RC Racing TV video. Do you?
We're gonna find out because I don't think so.
It's just a reel. So let's play this real quick.
But you know what? This problem exists worldwide between the RC industry and RC media. And I'm sorry, but something needs to be said. We told you last year about the event that expected us to provide them with coverage in return for cheese and wine. Well, that was one of the funnier ones. With one of the biggest events we actually did cover, they still haven't paid us. That was in August. So 7 months later, over the weekend, they said they would probably get to us this week, but still nothing has happened. Then there's the IFMAR Worlds that expect us to provide coverage for 10 days in return for travel expenses. And one of the things closest to my heart is the RC brand who ignored us and didn't want to support something new we tried earlier this year. And then we did it, and then they just stole it anyway. This is one of the biggest RC brands in the world. And for 20 years, we've promoted their racing, their products, and I just realized they have no respect for what we do. So something needs to change. We need to make things fairer for all RC media people, and that is something we're working on now. To be continued, change is coming this year. But you know what? The main thing is we could do none of this without you at home, without the RC heroes of them. But
And right there. So what's crazy is, and what I've seen myself, people don't realize I get paid, Zach.
To do the announcing for
Yeah.
Bob?
Yeah, people.
Why wouldn't you?
I've talked to some very large people in the industry, and they're like, "You guys get paid?" It's like,
I'm not doing this because I like it's fun, but
I
also
love it.
like I could be racing right now and
Don't
having
you-
fun.
yes, don't get me wrong. I make tens of dollars. Okay, I don't make a lot.
No, but
I
it's
make
kinda,
money.
it's almost not even worth your time, but it's something.
It's
And
something
it's
I
kind of
love.
fun.
It's
Yeah, it's a
something I love.
passion.
Yes. And like I talk to certain people and I talk to other people and it's like, well, how much would it cost to get you and Mod out here? And it's like, well, I give them Matt's menu, but I'm like, talk to Matt, but this is generally the way that it goes. And they're like,
Thousands of
well,
dollars.
yes. And we charge
that's-
half.
Yeah. But I mean, all right, let's say you're going, let's say you're going from California to Florida,
Yes.
right? So you have, you got like 4 bags of equipment.
8.
Okay.
It's 8 OGIO bags, well over the weight.
All right. So, okay. So eight bags of equipment. You
Yes.
have flights to Florida. You have hotel and food. You got to get around, so you got to have a rental car,
Yes.
right? So those are just the expenses. That
Yes.
doesn't count for anybody's time. Doesn't count for the equipment cost. That doesn't count for any of the services that they need to bring in, like some internet or something like that.
Oh yeah. Well, he's always got his Elon internet there, and it's very expensive, especially to get. You can get allocated internet for your event, so you're not with the general public. That's insanely expensive. You pay per gig.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So, I think they're, the companies don't get paid enough.
Right.
And we talked about this off air, but realistically, the prices for most events haven't gone up or have gone up a couple dollars
Yes.
since the 90s. Like everything's doubled in price since the 90s.
Yes.
You go to the track and you get a race night for $30 or $25, right?
Yes.
That's a great value. You're there from, we'll say, 5 to 10.
Yep.
What else are you going to do for $5 an hour?
Nothing.
Nothing. You go to the movies and you pay, we'll say $15 for a 2-hour movie. And you're doing that in one spot with
Yep.
50 other people, 100 other
Yes.
people, right? You go on the track and there's not 50 people there for a club night generally. I mean, it depends on the club, but
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and you're not doing it for 5 hours. You're at the movie for 2 hours.
Right.
Buying popcorn and you're doing the whole thing. So yeah, you spent $15 on the movie ticket, but then you spent $30 at the concession stand. That's where they make the money. They don't
Yep.
make money on the movie tickets.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And
So, you know.
you know, things go wrong. A camera will crap out on you.
Mhm.
My big ass head broke a headset one time. You know, the camera is well over $2,000. Headset was $300. We had their giant Roadcaster board took a crap on us at the Clash. So my Rode for this podcast costs $500. I don't know which one he has, but it's much larger than this one. I guarantee it's more than $500.
So, I mean, all I have to say is I understand it's expensive
Yes.
to have that media in there, but they should be paid a fair wage,
Yeah.
right? Like, let's say $15 an hour.
Yes.
Let's make it really cheap, right? $15.
Yeah.
Nobody's working for 15 an hour, but you
Yep.
got 3 people there for 15 an hour, 12 hours a day from Thursday to Sunday,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That should be like the minimum. That should be what you start at.
And we're not even close. So 15 times 12 times so times 4. $720 a person.
Right. And that's
And
just for the and that's
that's
yeah,
just
so
wage.
right. So I breaking it down in numbers like that make people see kind of what and really some of those days are longer than 12 hours.
Yep. You know,
So
here's what kills me. You know, the insult offers, whatever, it's never going to stop. What kills me are the guys who don't pay after the event.
I mean, I would almost do like a 50-50, like 50% deposit and 50% before we start. We're
100%.
here, we're doing it, like we showed up, here's all our stuff. Give me my money.
Yep, 100%. Shoot, speaking of getting booted, do you think if I play Jill's Grosscamp direct drive touring car, you think we'll get the boot?
Yeah, that's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Frickin' A, that thing was cool. That's all I got to say.
It was cool. Yeah. So
Nothing's ever going to happen with it, but it's still cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope I hope they do get paid. I hope they don't have to rely on waffles and sponsors to just pay the bills. I think those should be like extra things so that you can make more than $15 an hour.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, Keenan's saying we're good, but
oh, Keenan. Oh, shoot, I already took it down.
that's okay.
Dude, well, let's explain it. Is a touring car with 4 drone motors on each, with a drone motor on each wheel, but no drive line.
Right. So no spools, no diffs, no center pulleys in the touring car, no axles. So you save some weight. You do have some extra unsprung weight with that. I don't know how heavy those drone motors are. The car looked good on asphalt in the video.
Yep.
I don't think it'd be good on carpet.
No.
I think if you moved, well, I think that could actually work. I think the idea could work, but you have to put the motors like back to back where the diff would be, and then run an axle out to the wheel still.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
think that would be okay, but
yep. I totally think it's a rad car, but you know what I noticed? That video is from 2 years ago.
What?
Yep.
It just got picked up?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Just got picked up. That video, I went on YouTube, and it's from 2024.
Huh.
But you know, at least it's getting some traction now, pun intended. Now the question is, here's a question I've been pondering about that. Do you let it run with the regular modified touring cars, or does it need to be its own class? Because I believe there were 2 2S batteries in that thing.
I think it's going to depend on lap times. Ultimately, it's kind of hard to say on
Yeah.
that. So if it's the same speed as a regular touring car and it's just different,
Yeah.
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
I think, I bet that he could get away with like one big stick pack instead of two 2S batteries. I don't think it was run on 4S voltage. I don't know that to be the case, but um,
I don't know
I,
what kind of power those motors would require.
generally drones are like 4S or 6S, so maybe, but
Yeah,
it's all about the speed controller.
that as well. But it's like, I mean, you've obviously heard a drone wind up. Even my mini one sounds violent. So,
Yeah.
we got a couple more things here. Frickin' A, the Drakes sold the Drake Raceway. So it was Thunder Alley, then it was the Drake Raceway. But this is what Rhonda says. This was February 25th. So this was like right when we got done with the last episode. Said this will be our last night of practice for the Drake Raceway. We will be open from 5 p.m. to 10. We would like to thank everybody who came out and helped resurrect this iconic track. Thank you for all the donation, sponsorship, and support that help us restore this place back to default. We would like to give a big thank you to Beaumont Cherry Valley Recreation and Park District for all their support. You have been really awesome to work with. So, with that being said, the new track operator is in the process of obtaining the raceway and should be announced very soon. Track will be closed until further notice. See you at the racetrack. So, the track sounds like they're getting it's like not closing for good. They're just getting a new operator, which is good. It should stay open. Yeah, kudos to the Drakes and for everybody in that community for keeping that place open because it wasn't. I mean, the Drakes speared it, but it was that whole community that kept it ripping.
Yeah. I think it's great. And tracks like that should be, kept around. There's a lot of tracks now. And when we see a track close, it's always like, oh, wow, that's terrible. But like, we have a lot of tracks. And
Yes.
it's bad when like in Kentucky, there's not a lot of tracks. So
Yeah.
like when one closes, it kind of sucks. But like if
Yeah.
you go to Michigan, there's like 20 tracks in Michigan.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Dude, there's like 30 oval tracks and like a whole bunch of off-road tracks in Iowa.
Yeah.
When I say
There's a lot of
30,
tracks.
I think there's like 30 oval tracks in Iowa.
So if one closes, it's like, yeah, that kind of sucks, but like,
Yeah.
there's 29 others.
Oh, Alex V is talking about Gilles Grosscamp car, 70% EPA, he's saying. Still, that's crazy. 4 drone motors, it's crazy.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, people are saying Chris Nelson from TNR Fuels is taking it over. We'll see if he can make that happen. Whoever does it, I'm sure they'll do a great job. I'm excited to see that track continue. Thunder Alley, aka the Drake Raceway, to whatever it will be in the future.
So you want to talk about the Worlds?
Yes, IFMAR came out today and basically says the local officials are trying to it's not IFMAR, it's not the tracks, it's local officials trying to wet their beaks, their filthy little beaks. I mean, and IFMAR says we're trying to make it happen, but they're not letting it.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Somebody said something that was wrong, but also right. Because so much business from America, from all over the world.
Oh, you saw that too?
Yes. Somebody says you can't have it in a communist country. While I somewhat disagree, look what just happened with the local officials. This was not the track. This was not IFMAR. This wasn't X, Y, or Z. This was the local government.
See, and when IFMAR released the first statement yesterday or the day before, it sounded like the local track was like dragging its feet and not going to be ready or something.
It sounded like it, but it wasn't. You
Yeah.
you gotta really read it.
Well, and
So-
it's kind of, it wasn't laid out in certain terms or
Yep.
in not uncertain terms. So we had some speculation. So,
Mhm.
that kind of sucks, but maybe it'll go to like Europe or somewhere that people will want to go to.
Or maybe Thailand, Vietnam,
Oh, yeah, Thailand, yeah.
you know,
Does Vietnam have tracks?
Korea, Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Is it too late
Not
to?
Australia. Well,
Yeah.
you would have to postpone it. You can't just slap it in 2 weeks. Like that doesn't give the
Yeah.
track any time to get ready. But
Right.
also, like, you got to change flights. Everyone booked their flights already. So they got to
Yes.
cancel flights, cancel hotels, cancel rental cars.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, they got a refundable policy.
Oh, depending on there are some
Yeah.
smaller companies out there booking flights for team drivers that might have risked it.
Yeah. So,
I've been looking at flights to Asia because I'm trying to get my way over to the PNWC because it's going to be in Asia this year. And I'm not going to say where because it's just a rumor, but I looked at where it's rumored to be, and the cheapest flight is $2,200. 33 hours of travel. Kevin says
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, dude. Kevin says he finds it interesting every time this happens. It's never IFMAR, it's always the government in the area. I would say maybe every once in a while, IFMAR in the past has used the government as a scapegoat. What was that race in South America where like they totally
The venue.
Yeah, there was a race in South America 10 years ago, an A-scale off-road race, where they totally exploited the racers at the airport.
I remember what you're talking about. I don't remember the race though.
I mean, it was ridiculous. I can't remember. Argentina? Is that right? No, it wasn't Argentina.
I bet Keenan knows.
If he's still listening, yeah. But yeah, so what they're saying is they would provide further update regarding the IFMAR Electric Track World Championship scheduled for later this month in China. And IFMAR has been in daily communication with FEMCA and several contacts in China. While discussions remain ongoing, the matters affecting the event have not been resolved, and it is now highly unlikely that this championship will be able to take place on the currently scheduled dates. So,
I would just postpone it at this point.
and I think they're going to, but
I know,
now,
but why wouldn't you just do it now?
You're right. They should just be like, it's postponed until we can find a new venue or get this figured out. And you got to bump it like 3 months, I would say. Because I mean, you're doing a major like shock to all the racers. Because I mean, it's not that much more planning for like us to go to China, but it's significantly more work than, let's say, going to Denver.
Yeah, well, if you go to any other country except maybe the ones you're attached to,
yes,
it's a lot more work. So like we can go to Mexico and Canada pretty easy.
Yep.
But to go like overseas, it's tougher.
Yep. Some racers now were calling for it to be postponed due to the conflict in the Middle East with Iran. While I share some of their sentiment, because a war could just break out in any country at any time, I would think China would still be pretty safe.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard some good stories about China. I honestly,
Yeah.
I wanted to go to this Worlds. It wasn't in the budget
No,
for me.
that's a big budget.
Yeah, that's like a lot of the races that I go to would be this one race, and like it would be for me, not really the business, but like kind of the business.
Yeah.
But what are
Yeah.
you gonna do?
Yeah. Alex is saying Roar takes too much from entry fees for their own races unless it's changed recently. Alex, it has changed recently. The tracks get more. They
Mhm.
Roar bumped their entry fees up, but the track gets the bump that they bumped it.
Yeah.
Kevin, I like a conspiracy theory, and Kevin's saying I just think it's a lack of entries more often than not, and they just use a government thing to cover it up. I like conspiracy theories. Yeah.
It could be. I mean, I don't know. We would have to ask IFMAR, and they sure aren't
They're
talking. So
Nope, they're not gonna. They're never. It would take. It would be a ballsy move to say we're canceling because of lack of entries.
I think that would be fine. We're not canceling. We're postponing it. We're moving it to Europe.
Yeah.
But we did it 6 months ago when we opened this a year ago for the entries, and we got in 6 months into it we got 60 entries. Okay,
Yeah.
we're not having it there. You guys voted with the dollars. We'll go to somewhere else.
Yep. I want to say they did that with either a 5th scale on road worlds or a 1A scale on road GT, something like that.
I think it was 8th scale.
Yeah, it was something like that. And personally, if there's not the entries, I don't have a problem with it. The last one that was held in Florida did fairly well. And I think it did fairly well because they had the addition of 13.5.
Well, and it's not like the world shouldn't be for Joe Schmo.
It shouldn't
Like
be no, you're right.
it should be a prestigious event that the world is best go to, and me somehow. Um,
You shouldn't have me at a world's like bringing up second to last. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, but like they do have to be at least not like profitable, but like they need to be like break even or make a little bit of money,
Yes.
type thing. And yeah, like I get it, but I also don't get it. And like I don't know. And the world's is super expensive. Like to go
How
like
much is it for
it was
entry?
like $400 for an
Yeah.
entry. That's no tires, no nothing. It was just you get a shirt and
Yep.
your entry fee.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, and you get a badge. You get a badge from it too.
So, yeah, I mean that is, and they can say why it is, but that's for another time. And it's the world's. It should cost more.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
$400 is fine. I mean, it's whatever.
if
Like
it's a
if 400.
once every other year deal.
Yeah, but the tire bill was more than $400. The flight,
Yeah.
the airplane, the hotel, the food, everything was more than $400. It was
Right.
like, and even if it was $200, like how many more people were going to show up? Two?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it didn't
Exactly.
double the amount of racers.
No, you're not going to double. I mean, somebody will look at a $200 entry fee and be like, nope, too much. And that's fine.
It depends what
You
it
know?
like. It is though.
The worlds aren't for them. And that's the thing too. I mean, you got to pay to play. Oh, dude, Chris Lemon just said he just ordered his first DRC products. Looking forward to trying them out.
Oh, cool. Thank you,
Speaking
Chris.
of, I just made an order with you. I'm excited. I was looking at my pits this weekend. And I'm like, I still don't have a DRC power supply. Why? I need a DRC power supply.
I know, and now with the new team format, it's really, I mean, it's pretty generous, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. And then do you have any new products that you want to talk about?
Yes and no. So
Yeah.
the products I want to talk about, I can't talk about yet because we don't have the website updated yet.
Okay.
I will say there are 2 Easter eggs, and they're a little bit more than Easter eggs, but there are 2 Easter eggs on the website.
Yep.
So if you guys happen to find them, about a really cool new product we haven't talked about yet, and you send me a picture of it and what you think it is, I will send you one for free.
Nice. Yes.
Just a little fun thing to go look at the website for. But so yeah, so we have we can talk about 2 more swag things, I guess. So we
Okay.
have new koozies.
Okay.
These are leather koozies. They're not the cheap foam things that suck.
Yeah.
They're pretty nice actually. We had them a couple years ago, and I got some more in because people were asking about it again. So I got those in, and then we got some coffee mugs too.
Nice.
DRC coffee mugs. They're black with the white logo. So those are available under the swag page on the website. Joe, you have a coffee mug coming. This is the first time
That's
I've shipped a coffee mug.
Yes.
I don't know. I packed it well, but like that doesn't mean anything.
Yep. We'll see
Uh,
what happens.
yeah. So yeah, we have that, and then we have some. I have some colored stickers sheets coming, not just black and white. That
Okay.
we'll have available for purchase.
Nice.
So just a little bit more swag stuff. It's like
Yeah.
kind of been, we've got t-shirts in stock. I ordered the hoodies and hats.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have those soonish.
I want to talk
Whenever
about.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to talk about one of your. Well, it's a WMH product with the DRC logo on it. It's
Oh yeah.
it's a little not older, but it's not new.
Right.
And that is your analyzer test holder for 540 and 550 motors. No, I got one this weekend because I was telling you about my childhood friend that was sitting behind me. He won one. He's like, I have no use for it. It's like, well, can I use it? Because I've been testing different ways to use my tunelizer. And I'll tell you what, I love that thing because
What were you using before?
Alligator clips. I tried the Crybaby. Crybaby one wasn't for me. I preferred the alligator clips.
Yeah.
So anyways, it has bigger tabs, and what I like about it, it has wires coming off of it that plug in to the tunelizer and not having to plug the alligator clips in the back or anything like that. It's a really solid unit, and I can hit that button 3 times in a row, and the only thing that will change ever so slightly, and it does it with the alligator clips too, is your KV will change ever so slightly as it warms up as you test it. That's the only thing. It will be the same every time. Other than that, it'll be the same every time you hit the button. And that's what I've been looking for, because as you know, how bad it sucks trying to balance the alligator clips on the
you
tab.
always got to hold one on. You can never get all 3 of them on. It's a pain in the butt. And this one, you just slap the motor in. It's great.
Yep. And last night as I was screwing with it, I was probably annoying the shit out of him, but I was messaging Kyle Holmberg, and I'm like, hey, this is doing this. Hey, look at this. Look at this. Look. Yeah, I'm just sending him pictures of my tunelizer and telling him what I'm doing. He's probably like, yep, okay. Stop bugging me. All right. But I was testing that the WMH, the Crybaby, and the alligator clips, and the WMH DRC motor holder came out the best.
Yeah, so it's really convenient. They're like $40 or something like that.
Yeah. And again, you don't have to balance the alligator clip while you're trying to hit the button.
Yeah, it makes tuning your motor faster, and then you can also we offer bases with them. So if you have like the tunalizer or the motorizer, so the test stand that holds your motor like snaps into a spot in the back, and
Okay.
then your tunalizer's in the front. It's got to stand on there, so like you don't have to chase your stuff around. I think those are like $20.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I say that because it's not like they're super expensive or anything like that. But they're really nice products and they work good.
Think about in the RC world what you waste $20 to $40 on that doesn't help you.
Or complain about $30 race fees.
Yeah, no kidding. I was just, oh my God, I just had a brain. I was just going to ask you about something, but we'll leave it for another episode, huh?
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm Joser Jr., and with me was my co-host, Zach Donathan, and we have ran out of talent. Have a good night, guys. Oh, no, I got to hit the button. I got to hit the button. There it goes.